Hey, fourth grade mathematicians. So today our topic 5.1, this is our first lesson really into topic 5, is focusing on using mental math to find quotients. So just a quick review of the division vocabulary. The first thing you need to know, say if we have a problem like 15 divided by 3 equals this number here, the number that you're going to be breaking up into equal pieces is called the dividend, and then this piece is the divisor. The divisor tells me how many equal groups of objects am I going to break up the dividend. So I'm going to break this 15 up into 3 groups, and in each group there has to be an equal number of objects. Think of it as the opposite of multiplication. It's the inverse operation. And the answer is the quotient. So the answer is the quotient. So 15 divided by 3, just a quick review. A strategy to solve that with mental math would be to use those inverse operations. So ask yourself a number. I'm going to put a question mark instead of a variable. A number times 3 equals 15. So a number times 3 equals 15. Well, I'm going to think of my 3 facts, and I'm going to make a multiples list if I don't know this. Some of you right away are going to say, I know it's 5, Mr. Hoffman. Amazing. Great. You know your facts. I know you both know them, Zoe and Dalton. But if you don't, think of that number here, that divisor, and start listing your facts. So I know 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15. I hit the money right there with 3 times 5. So 15 divided by 3 equals 5. My quotient is 5. If you are not sure of your multiples, there is a longer, more lengthier strategy that I've shown you how to do this. You could take 15 and split it into 3 groups, making sure that each group has an equal amount of numbers. So that means what I do to this one, I need to do that one to that one. In the incidences where you cannot make equal groups, you know that you have a remainder because not all numbers can be divided evenly and they need to be reported with remainders. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail as the topic goes along. For today's purposes, all of the problems you have today divide evenly will not have remainders. I repeat, all of the problems that you have today will divide evenly and won't have remainders. So you could do 15 divided by 3. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And if you look at these groups, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all the same. If 15 is divided by 3 into 3 equal groups, you would have 5 as your quotient per group. So this is the prerequisite or the skill that you need to be successful for today. So today you're going to be getting some problems that have those multiples of 10. Just a review of what a multiple of 10 is a multiple of 10 is any number that adds, any number that ends, not adds, ends in a 0. So numbers like 50, 5,000, 10,000, 10, 100, 1,000,000 dollars, all multiples of 10. You could take a number times 10 to get to that number. So these are going to be some division problems with multiples of 10. So let's look at the problem 900 divided by 3 and how we can solve this mentally. So the first step we're going to do, step 1, is to ID the basic fact. So when I look at this problem, look at your divisor and look at your dividend. Which one of these will give me a basic fact? Well, I start with the number that's not the multiple of 10. I'm sorry, the zeros at the end of the multiple of 10. They're all multiples of 10. Erase your mind on that one. I start with the number that's not the 0. I start with a number that's not the 0. So here's a 9. Do I know any numbers of 3, any factors of 3 that will get me to 9 if I multiply? Do I know numbers or factors of 3 that will give me to 9 if I multiply? Well, 3, 6, 9. So 3 times 3. So it looks like my basic fact here is 9 divided by 3. So once you do that, step 2 then would be to add those zeros. Just like we did with multiplication, it's just we're working with division now instead of thinking, okay, well, I know 3 times 10 is 30. 3 times 100 is 300. 3 times 1,000 is 3,000. We're knowing now that 900 divided by 3 would be, let's look at that. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Add my zeros, 1, 2, 300. If I did 90 divided by 3, 9 divided by 3 is 3. Add my 0 is 30. And then we know 9 divided by 3 is 3 because we've done that basic fact. If you think about it in terms of a bar diagram, we said that 900 divided by 3 equals 300 because 9 divided by 3 is 3. Add my zeros over there is 300. If I had 3 groups of 300 and I counted those 3 groups of 300, I have 300 plus 300 is 600 plus 3 more hundred would be a total of 900. Let's look at the pattern this way. Let's do 24 divided by 8, 240 divided by 8, and 2,400 divided by 8. Well, I'm going to solve it using those that turnaround fact strategy. I like that instead of drawing pictures. It's more efficient. So I know my basic fact is 24 divided by 8. So I need 8 times some number that equals 24. I can never remember my 8's facts, so I'm going to make my list. 8, 16, 24. Am I right on that one? I think so. Next one would be 32. Then it would be 40. Yep. So 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. So I know then 24 divided by 8 must equal 3. Working backwards, 24 divided by 8 equals 3. So 240 divided by 8, if I look at the 24 and 8, my basic fact is 3. Carry my 0 over would be 30. 2,400, my basic fact is 24. Oh, sorry, not 24, it is 3. My basic fact is 24 divided by 8. That's what I meant to say. So my quotient is 3. Add my 2 zeros, it would be 300. So that's the pattern that way. So your problems today are going to have a lot of those patterns for you to solve. If you are struggling, it may be because you're not identifying the basic fact correctly, or it's because you're not adding those zeros correctly. Those are the 2 major steps. And I'll have this here for you to reference during the lesson. Good luck, amigos and amiga. I think you're going to love this unit. Division is really fun, and it is definitely a process. And when you learn it, you're going to feel great about yourselves. I promise you that.